Okay, let's show you where we're at with this digging out a den. See, we've dug right down there. See that little hole goes underwater, and the entrance is on the other side, down under the water. And then you've got this hole. After digging that down, we then dug up, and you see up in here we have another hole. And we came up here and dug down and met that same hole. So these are all interconnected. Now I'm going to dig the last section and I'll show you what I get. Okay, so now what I've done is I've just dug a little trench from the mouth of that last hole. So I've got my holes that I've dug, little tunnels that I've dug. Now I built a little trench, dug a little trench, and then in the back I hollowed out behind the trench in the ground a little nest chamber, just like a rat or a muskrat would build. And I lined it with grass so it's nice and soft and tempting for the mink to want to nest in and just eat its kill right there. I want this as natural as possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this pole, see it's just an old broom handle, and I'm going to pound it into the dirt. See, here's my nest chamber. I'm going to go past the nest chamber, so I'll do it at an angle and have it come in at an angle rather than come from above. So I'm going to have it at an angle. I'm going to pound this in at an angle so that I can create a little hole into the nest chamber from the back. So now I've tapped this pole in. I honestly think it would be a lot easier if I had a metal one, but I don't have one. I'm just using what I got. So I tapped in this broom handle hole and it's coming in. It's now entered the top of the den. You can't really see it, I don't know why I'm showing you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm pull this out. And you kind of twist it as you're pounding. You pull it out and twist it and re-pound it. Don't just pound it straight in, you won't be able to get it out if the dirt's very tough. So anyway, pounded this in, now I pull it out. Now I got a nice little starter hole so that I don't cave things in and make a big mess. It's easy. Hopefully I won't do it at all. Now I'll take a skinny little shovel, just a little garden shovel, teeny skinny little one. Just thin enough. It's 2 inches thick. See, I got a 2-inch pipe here and a 2-inch shovel. So I got a 2-inch shovel, so you want it to fit your pipe. And I just put this little shovel in there, and I don't really dig, I just kind of spin. Just kind of drill a hole in there. If it's kind of hard and you're breaking up the earth while spinning, don't spin too much, just make little scoops. But you don't want to scoop too much because you don't want to make the hole bigger in the pipe. You want it just big enough to fit your pipe, and that's it. And you just kind of make this tunnel big enough for the pipe. Training tube, cash training tube. See, I can insert it right in that hole. And that's just right. Now, I got to go from the other end and make sure the rat is going to go up the hole. If it doesn't go up the hole, then this is pointless. So now, as you can see, I can put this pipe all the way into the hole. And the mink doesn't cache. I can pull that string on this end, pull that rat right away from the mink, and I don't have to drag it through the whole entire hole system. So now, how I cover up this trench, obviously if I put dirt on it, it'll just all fill in. So, I take a board, and I put the board over the trench like so. So now, we've got our caching tube set up in the back, so that we can pull the rat out if the mink doesn't cache. You see we've got these boards over the trench, and then covering the hole, so this is one continuous hole. Now, what's the problem if we leave it like this? Look at all these gaps and cracks, all that light pouring through. That just makes it look like a very unsecure place for a mink to cache. We want this to be as tempting as possible and as natural as possible. The purpose of this is to test to see if she will cache in a natural environment. So we want this as close to a natural environment as possible. Obviously, a muskrat hole going up into the bank is not going to have all these cracks of light pouring through the entire tunnel. So what we need to do if we just poured dirt on top of this board, these cracks are so big that it would just fill up the hole. So what you need to do is first stuff up the cracks. The easiest material to do that with is sod, so clumps of grass with the roots attached. And stuff it in the holes. And you want to get big chunks so that it sits in there quite firm and doesn't just fall in when you pour the dirt on it. And this just basically keeps the dirt from pouring in the holes. And you might be tempted, once you've done this, to just leave it, right? Because all the holes are filled in, but no, there's still, I mean, imagine if you were sitting in this hole right now. You'd still see all the light pouring through the gaps in the sod and the grass. So you don't want to leave it like that. Once you get all the holes filled in, dirt isn't as porous as the grass and the sod. The dirt is going to fill in all the little gaps that the grass doesn't and make it dark. You want it as dark and as natural looking as possible. I'm going to just fill this in with dirt, I think. And it looks just like normal earth. Maybe a little dug up, but nothing out of the ordinary. I'm going to do the same thing down here. And there we go. You see here? There's the mouth of the hole up under that bank. And there's the tunnel that we dug. Totally invisible. Should be just as invisible from the inside. Look like a natural tunnel as best as we can do. And then got our pipe. If you see here, just notice I got all those cracks. I'll bet your light's pouring right in through in between the pipe and the hole. I'll take some grass. I want to make this, like I said, I know it sounds like I'm being like nitpicky here and a little obsessive compulsive. Maybe I am, but I want this as natural as possible. So I'm going to fill the dirt in on that pipe. So there's no light pouring in through the pipe. But see, I've got it all set up, all covered. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set up the rat right now. Got a little domestic rat here. I've used up all my wild rats that I bred. Pull this out. I'm going to dig all the dirt away before I pull this out so that it doesn't all just fall right into the burrow. I mean, some of it will, but not as much. Okay, this will make it easier to get the rat down the tube. Go on. So he can go as far as he wants to go. Oh, there he is. See, now we're just going to pop him right down this hole. Go on. Go down. Now I got the rat down in the nest. I'm going to put the pipe in part of the way. You don't want to shove it all the way in and have this big obvious pipe hanging down. Now we're going to cover this. Okay, now here we go. See, the rat's down there. Now if the mink decides not to cache and she sits down there trying to eat it, all I got to do is quickly pull the rat up and boom, I got the rat back, and she's learned that wasn't a good idea. So now little rat's back up in the tube. I gotta start all over again. I just wanted to show you guys how to do that. I'll put the rat back in. Okay, now I got the rat back in there again. Now what I'm gonna do, now this string, so you know, isn't attached to anything, it's just loose. So when the mink goes to cache, this string will go pulled in as she's running down, and the string will go through the tube. She'll come out underneath here and surface, and the string will just pull all the way out of the tube, or out of the burrow system. So I don't want all this light pouring in through the top of the tube. So I've got some socks. Take a sock and just stuff it right in there. I don't want to stuff it too tight or she won't be able to pull the string, so you don't want there to be any tension the minute she touches it. You want it to be loose. So I'm going to put a little bit of slack down there so that she doesn't feel tension the minute she starts taking the rat, because then I'll teach her to check if it's on the line or not. So testing once again, see it's sliding so easy, so we got it good. We got a lump of sock out so we could pull it out. Now what I'm going to do, how I'm going to set this up, is she's obviously, I'm going to go downstream a ways and start, and I'm just going to put her down and let her start working the stream. she'll go to the holes she knows of and check them and see if there's anything in them, and she'll come along this stream and I'll pat right here on the bank and say here, 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 here. And she probably, because this is the first time we've done it underwater, have no clue what I'm trying to get her to do. And she'll look around on the bank and try and find the hole, maybe even start digging in here, I don't know. But I don't want her to do that. I want her to go in the underwater entrance. So I'll say here, 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 and try and get her interested, and then I'll help her. I'll take her. My mink is tame enough I could do this. Your mink might not be, but I'll take the mink and I'll push her under the water and start her in the hole. And that doesn't bother her at all. She doesn't, that's like a game to her. Me dunking her underwater doesn't scare her. Because I've practiced it since she was little. It's been a game that we play where I push her under the water and I tickle her belly, and so she's not afraid by it. I've done that lots of times where I pushed her under holes underwater, so that she just gets used to, oh, there's a hole, I'm gonna go in it. So she's already been accustomed to this already. And if she can't figure out to dive under and look for the hole, I'll push her under. And then she'll find the hole, go up in. Hopefully she'll go right up, kill the rat, drag it right out. So what I'll do is once she's up in there, I'll then walk up here and be waiting. Okay, is she doing it right? Is she doing it right? I might sit and listen, see if I can hear the rat squeak. And then if she does it right, great, pull the sock out, let her take the rest of the way. While she's taking it, I'll come back here and I'll put the box probably over here in the grass and let her cache in it. So unfortunately I'm not going to be able to show you guys any of that because I'm filming by myself and there's no way for me to do all of that and film at the same time. So maybe I'll get someone to help me in a day or two and you guys will get to see it, but you won't get to see the first shot though. So, okay, see you guys.